Hey guys!
Alright guys, we're here to do the second video on this Monday doubleheader, and this is a video that was requested by the band, not by Patreon, not by anybody else, but by the dudes and the dudettes. I don't know, maybe there's dudettes. I don't know, whatever. By the folks. Maybe folks, it's gender neutral, isn't it? I think it is. So by the folks in the band, and the name of the band is Revolverlution, and the name of the song is Going Out With a Bang, which I like that title. I like to go out with a bang.
Oh.
You know, anything I do, I like to have the last word. I like to go out with a bang. I just, you know, I'm a going out with a bang kind of guy. You know what I mean? Just that's my thing.
That's how you doing?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to go out with a whimper. You want to go out with a bang. Like, if you ever...
Like, if you're in a conversation, if you're in an argument, you want to have the best...
You want to have the closing line.
Yeah,
the closing line and leave. Or, like, if you're quitting your job, you want to do it in a big, splashy way, especially if you don't like those people. But then again, maybe you shouldn't burn bridges. You just never know. But anyways, I'm a going out with a bang, not with a whimper. Like, you don't want to be the guy that doesn't have that last comeback. You know what I mean? All right. So Revolverlution, going out with a bang. Let's do this.
Yeah.
All right. Before we talk about the song, the music, I just want to say this about the video. I don't know if the video is recent or not, but this is a very COVID-19 friendly video because, first of all, everybody's wearing masks.
Yeah.
Well, besides the girl. But we found there was a study the other day that said testicles are one of the reasons why perhaps men are more prone to being infected. So assuming that she doesn't have those, which I think is a fair assumption to make, she feels more comfortable not wearing a mask. But the dudes, they're all wearing masks.
Yeah.
So they're wearing masks, and then each one of them is in their own container. So they're practicing social distancing, which is really...
But in the end, they come together.
Yeah, in the end, they went Jesus, right? At the end, after 3 days, he kind of gave up on the whole quarantine thing, and that's why he left the cave. So at the end, they kind of like said, fuck this shit, and, let's just all go and jam together. So they started off on the right note, and then kind of things like, well, they went out with a bang at the end. I just thought about that as I'm watching the video. It's like, wow, everybody's wearing a mask, and they're all in different containers, like...
Very COVID family friendly.
Yeah, very very COVID-19. You have to say COVID-19. COVID by itself, it's really nothing. It's COVID-19.
Oh. What happened to 18 and 17?
Oh my God! I was just gonna say that. There's some people that think that this is not a big deal. We survived the 18 that came before that. Dude, it's 19 because the virus started in 2019. It's not. It doesn't mean that there were 18 viruses before this one.
How are you just gonna skip the 19 though?
Never, there's a line from...
What if happening? It would be weird if it was happening in 1999 because it would be COVID-99, and then it just comes back now. Like what happened between those years?
Why are we going down this rabbit hole of stupidity? It's really a rabbit hole of stupidity.
It is.
Right?
I see a lot of it on Instagram.
I see a lot of it on Twitter. It's absolutely ridiculous, and we're getting completely sidetracked here. But it's asinine. Some of the stuff you read and you see. It's just like it doesn't. It defines logic. There's one of my favorite lines from Scarface is never underestimate the other man's greed. And I think now we have to move that into 2020 and is never underestimate the other man's stupidity because apparently it's rampant.
It is.
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's contagious, but it
probably is.
There's a much larger
it's a genetic disease.
Yeah, there's definitely an outbreak of stupidity and conspiracy theories. Like, somehow the virus is caused by 5G cell phone towers. Like, and the earth is flat.
And then every day you learn that there's a new thing that could cause it, like, ejaculation stops you from getting the virus. That was a thing. If you drink a lot of vodka, it's harder to get the virus.
Oh, God. Anyways, let's move on from...
Which means Russians are
they're pretty much immune, yeah.
And Ukrainians, they're safe.
Yeah, they're all safe. Yeah, exactly. And that and teenagers, because they masturbate a lot. Maybe that's the reason why under the age of 17 there's not a lot of cases. It's because of the masturbation. All right, anyways, now that we got all of that out of the way, let's talk about the important stuff, which is the music. What did you think about this song?
I was kind of... I was not expecting this. I mean, we didn't really...
I didn't know what to expect.
We didn't know what to expect, but this was the last thing out of everything that I would have expected. Some nice rock and roll.
Yeah, it was like some good old fashioned rock and roll, some hard rock, if you will. Yes, I was not expecting that either. But having said that, I really didn't have any expectations,
and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a good track. It is a really good track. To me, I'll just say this because I wasn't expecting this style. Honestly, I don't even know what I was expecting, but maybe a little bit more like heavy metal, like power metal, even a little bit more along those lines. Going Out with a Bang kind of has a little bit of a power metal feel to it, but it also has a rock and roll, feel to it. So it took me a little bit to get into it because when it started, I'm like, wow, this is not what I had in mind.
Yeah.
Not to say, I'm not saying that it's bad or not. It's just that's not what I was expecting.
It caught you off guard.
Exactly. It caught me off guard. The moment I started getting into it, and I started listening to it, and I started appreciating the song, I'm like, wow, this is a badass rock and roll track. It has the guitars have some bite to it. The solo, by the way, I must say, the solo was really well played. Yeah. Because the solo really pulls in the energy that the song, this rock and roll energy, and when it gets to the solo... Even the riff.
Everything about it had that old school rock and roll feel.
I know, but when it got to the solo, I felt like the solo was turned to 11. It's almost like it had this rock and roll energy, and then when it got to the solo, it had that big stadium vibe to it. Like, when you go down on your knees and you're just pulling the solo and all this crazy stuff. It had that big arena feel to it, the way the solo sounded on the track. I like the song. I mean, I don't necessarily listen to a lot of hard rock on a regular basis, but I can listen to this.
It's a nice thing to listen to.
Oh, it's definitely a great track. It's really well put together.
But
I really like the vocals.
genre of rock and roll is just a nice...
It's nice, man. Like when you're going on a road trip, you're in the house. I like this song because it has a little bit of bite. It's not overly heavy. It's very catchy, and it almost at the same time has a little bit of a party feel to it. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like you could play this song at a party, and it would totally work. It has that feel to it. Has that energy built into the way the song sounds. So I dig it. I think it was good. All right, we're happy with it.
Yeah.
All right, this was a good doubleheader, I must say. Very different. Both bands very different, but it was a good doubleheader nevertheless. All right, guys, come back tomorrow. We'll have more videos for you. See you guys.
See ya.